Got it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Women on the Rise. We are honored with Kara Gutierrez here. She's the owner of Spot on Beauty. She's not only an entrepreneur, but she's also a boy mom. She's actually at a game or a tournament right now from her car. So please give her a round of applause for that. And she is a big family woman. So I'm going to let her share about her business because I am just, after a friend told me about her, I had to reach out to her and have her on here. So Kara, please take it away.
Yes. Hi. How's it going? Yeah, this is no green screen, guys. We're in the back of my car. It's actually very comfortable. I might probably start sneaking to work in here. So about my business, really, I change the color of people's skin for a living. It's literally what I do with my electric crayon. So I am a traditional tattoo artist, started in a traditional tattoo apprenticeship in a street shop. So if you guys have any like preconceived notion of what, tattoo shop is, you walk in the door, you get the head nod, what's up, what do you want? That's where I started at. And I basically started there simultaneously doing microblading. And then I got recruited to work in this shop because microblading was a new thing and I knew I was tattooing permanently. So they're like, I begged them, yeah, let's get into this tattoo shop. I've been in the industry for about 11 years. So It was not welcome when I started.
Fair.
I used to get made fun of. You can't do it, doesn't look good. So that whole motivation of, you're not good enough. I was like, oh, watch me work. And that's literally the fuel that started who I am today.
Amen. I love that.
Yeah. So I guess a little bit about that background of how I got to where I was and made it work. Mm-hmm. So in this tattoo shop working, it wasn't necessarily my vibe. It was just like really cool. I felt like I was more play pretending the vibe because I actually, I've got 3 bachelor's degrees, one in management, one in communications, one in sociology. In my master's business, I played Division I college softball, 2-time Division I college All-American. So I was a military spouse right after that. So it was like college, military spouse. That didn't work out. And then here I am, boom, a single mom back, 100 years ago. And I went to beauty school. When I was in beauty school and got out, I was doing nails and I've always been really good at art, like fine line art. And that was when accent nails was a thing. Y'all remember when accent nails was a thing?
I used to have them every
time. Which one's your accent nail? So I did that. And then microblading came about. And I was like a broke single mom. And I'm like, whoa, $150. I want to get that money. And I'm like, but back then $150 for a set of brows it was, I guess, the price. So I worked my butt off, YouTube. How else do you learn things nowadays? Right. So I learned how on YouTube and humans' faces. So when you're in a street shop, there's a lot of guinea pigs that walk in the door. A lot. I tattoo skin that wasn't supposed to be tattooed. Nowadays, permanent makeup is very prim and proper. It's where it's like no drinking, don't drink coffee 24 hours before, make sure your medicine. I'm like, okay. My tattooing experiences, you pick it, I stick it. Come on. And I tattooed it all, which grateful for that experience. And I'm sorry for anyone ever tattooed and all your stuff. So here I am. I'm like, whirlwind changed, quit the beauty career, was professional, still-ish kind of, and microblading turned into that start of permanent makeup world. They made fun of me for a reason. It's because it didn't heal well. If anyone has microblading done, they will tell you they hate it. It doesn't look good. It fades out. It turns funky colors. Prove me wrong. And if they say, I love my microblading and it's a like a powdery look, not individual soft looking lines that they sell on social media. That's not microblading. That's a powder brow shift from microblading. Like it just feels that way.
Yep.
So yeah. And I went to powder brow, I tattoo machine, I did tattoos, I did piercings. Yeah, did all that. So I did that for a while until I went viral back in 2019. And then permanent makeup really blew up around then. A lot. And I became somewhat of a face of permanent makeup out there in the world. So that's like my somewhat long story ish, not short, but long story of where I came from.
What made you go viral?
So anybody type in the world bad brows, bad microblading, Jamie Ledbetter. She went to 2 different artists, 4 brows tattooed, 4 different sets, 2 sets. So yeah. And she got them botched and I did a removal on them. I was all over, I went worldwide, you know, Inside Edition, Today Show, anything.
Oh, wow.
You name it. Fox 4, they threw it out there and then everyone took it. And in 2019, I was the #1 story on Fox 4. Number 2 was the burning down like Notre Dame.
Wow.
Yeah. So just shows you what's important, history or someone's jacked up face.
Right. Where do you see yourself going from here? It sounds like you've done a hell of a lot. You started from the bottom, now you're here. Where are you going?
What? Okay, all the things. Let me tell you. So right now, the current days from starting literally from the bottom where I'm at now, I've got a very beautiful shop. It's very boutique-y, you know, type, but it's me. It's still that edginess, but you could bring your 89-year-old grandma to get tattooed, you know, or, you know, if you want something little small micro tattoos, because I still do body art.
Okay.
No more piercing. Don't come up here with that. So I've got apprentices that I'm training.
Nice.
Bro, I never thought I'd be doing training. That's the last thing I wanted to do.
You're like, not my thing. Nope. No, I know what I'm doing.
But yeah, I've been training since 2017. Wow. And I teach how to put ink into skin, any type of tattoo that they want to learn, from permanent makeup to like little bitty micro tattoos. But I don't teach the larger ones because that you should take a traditional tattoo apprenticeship. You should be in the shop. You should do art. That's a rabbit hole story. If you want to go there, we'll go there later. But I teach. And I got recruited for my breast cancer. Like that's a big thing I'm known for, especially locally, is doing my hyper realistic areola tattooing. Mm-hmm. So I do breast cancer survivor tattoos that are either body art or they've had their breast taken away from cancer or a preventative. Mm-hmm. And it's something that is huge right now. A lot of artists want to get in there and learn how to do that. But I love helping them, and I have a breast cancer foundation because of it.
I love that. I actually heard about you because Jenny, my friend Jenny, we were at lunch and she's like, oh my God, my girl Kara is doing this. And I think your foundation event was that weekend. Yeah. And I was like, and it was during breast cancer awareness, obviously. So I was like, oh my God, Kara, like, what are we doing? Like, let's share this because women need to know that. I have so many lost members and or friends, even my age, that have gotten breast cancer or diagnosed or lost their womanhood is how they see it. Yep. And I can't even imagine how they feel. Something we just take for granted because it's a part of our body. And then one day it's gone and you're like, okay, I don't even want to look at myself. And I've got these huge scars. And I want to thank you for doing that. And let's just show your shirt because I love it. Okay. And seriously, F cancer, y'all.
Yes.
Is this something you sell at your shop?
This is a part of my merch that I have. And I definitely, it's a head turner. And they are the people that I touch, and literally it changes me. And people are like, you do so cool. And I'm like, I know, isn't it awesome? I don't really say, well, thank you, or you're welcome, unless it's the patient or the survivor who's a person who's told me thank you. I will say, but I think it's just as cool every time.
Right.
But I sell merchandise online, spotonbeautykc.com. 100% of the proceeds go to the survivors or the people who've had a preventative um, surgery, whether it's a radical mastectomy or you've got a bilateral, unilateral one where one's gone. And I tattoo it because the story of how I got to it, we'll get after this. But yeah, so I tattoo it on and or a body art. And if it's a body art piece that's just something that's out of my realm, I don't really have enough time to do something. I'm like, I have the best artist that will volunteer to do it. Mm-hmm. So you're not allowed to have a crappy tattoo with me. Insert the story. Segue to the crappy tattoo part. What happened was, because I got those bracelets, I have those. So what happened was, I'm in the shop and this woman, a typical my client, she's in her mid 50s. She came and she's never had a tattoo before. And I asked that. And I was telling her I had a tattoo. She goes, kinda. And I was like, wait a minute, kinda. And she flashes me. And I'm like, what's that? And she's like, well, that is my tattoo that I got at the hospital. I'm like, oh my God, and of course she's laughing about it. And it was orange with the centers red. And I'm like, listen, I'm a tattoo artist. Let me print off some nipple and I could reference that and I'll tattoo it, but for free, like just let me do it because I think it's cool. And that was my approach to it because it's cool. And we tell you, it was a slippery slope.
Did you ever think when you were a kid, I'm going to tattoo nipples someday?
No, not at all. When I was a kid, I was going to be a professional softball player, professional athlete. It's up to my kid now, which luckily their game is pushed back. So we have plenty of time.
We had time.
Yeah. So no. And then I've always done art. It's huge for me. So it kind of was like everything I've ever done has brought me to where I am today. I was a medical assistant. So like a little bit of that medical background, but the lady I tattooed. All right. So after I got a nipple picture, and of course all the guys in the shop enjoyed that to look up the references. And I looked and I tattooed it and we're like, cool, hugs and bye. Next day I got a phone call. The doc was like, hey, do you have so-and-so? I was like, yes, is she okay? What's wrong? And he's like, no, I want to hire you. And I'm like, you should, because I'm a smart aleck. I was like, yeah, you should. I was like, well, listen, this is where I'm located. He goes, no, we want insurance to pay for it. I said, even better, how much can we charge insurance for this?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, you have to come here. I'm like, well, my shop's here. I was such an ignorant tattooer, like I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah.
4 years later at the job, I got the job 4 years later. I've tattooed over 2,000 areola tattoos, women, men, more women. It's like it's definitely the men is a zero. We could talk about that if you want to, but and I go to hospitals, I fix botched jobs, I do removal. A lot of artists, they think that they can, or people who want to become artists, they think that they can do right by some of these cancer, cancer survivors, cancer people, whatever. And it doesn't heal well. It doesn't look good. So therefore you're on top of their hating their bodies, how they look. It just doesn't work well. So again, another reason why I teach. So that is my thing that I do. But last but not least, I had the hospital nurse contact me, one of them, about two and a half years ago, I think. And she's like, hey, there's some people whose insurance won't cover it. Will you get it? And I didn't know that insurance didn't cover the tattoo. I was like, sure, yeah, I'll do it for a cheaper price. And my ignorant self, they were like, well, they came in and they were hard to get in. They were folks that were like difficult. I'm like, why are y'all so difficult? And they were lower income. They were borrowing and stealing just to get to me, and they didn't have money. And I was like, I can't like charge you guys. And to be honest with you, I don't, because that's priceless. $1 million. There you go. You give me $1 million in nipple, I'll take it. I don't know what to charge for the feeling I get. Yeah. It's so amazing. It's not always tears. We have fun in the appointment. If it is tears, it's accidental. Or the husband does it. I'm like, y'all don't do this. Yeah. And it's just like you feel an energy of release. And if you've ever felt release, there's nothing like it when I get to do that.
I love
So
that so much. And the fact that you're empowering women through what you're doing and just giving them a piece of them back, like, is just incredible. Like you said,
thank you.
that is
Thank you.
priceless, like 100%.
Yeah.
So you do that, and that's amazing. With your permanent makeup, who is that for?
Permanent makeup is for anybody who wants to enhance what they already have and also what they've lost. Being able, coming from the street shop where I did not have the guidance to have rules of who to tattoo and who not. It was make money and I don't care, or they'll go somewhere else. Um, I tattooed skin that you're not supposed to tattoo, and developing that skill throughout the years, I've learned how to do it well. So if you've had scars, if you've had any sort of trauma to your skin and you want to cover it, I really am an illusion artist. I do something that people really want to feel comfortable being naked face and have no makeup on, and I enhance what they have. Let me tell you something. If anybody sells you permanent makeup, put this on the damn commercial intro. If anybody sells you permanent makeup to not have to do makeup at all anymore, you flip the screen, turn off the phone, hang up on them, and run away. Or however you get out of there, get away. Because permanent makeup does not replace doing makeup. It replaces having to do makeup. And if anybody sells that it replaces doing makeup, they do not know what they're doing. The mentor and the people or whoever they've learned from have taught them incorrectly. It does not. Now, does it for some? Yeah, it does. But if you sell it that way, you're going to make a lot of people very upset.
So you mean you can't like put my foundation on my face permanently? I would still
No,
use my foundation.
you're going to still need that. So education, okay, your skin changes over time. It shifts, your DNA, lifestyle, and anything in between. Stuff happens.
Mhm.
So you've got to just respect the skin and get it tattooed to where it enhances. Color theory is huge. It's not makeup on the skin, it's in the skin. So a lot of things apply if there's estheticians or people who have color theory knowledge, hairstylists. A lot of those things apply. If you've got that reddy skin, that undertone, that red skin, you want to make sure you got a ink that has a little bit of green in it so it doesn't shift to some, red or peach. So that, yeah, some of that stuff does apply, but it's in the skin. So I really hope people that are watching this get educated on what permanent cosmetics, permanent makeup, paramedical tattooing is something that is to enhance. So for brows, liner, lips, you just want to make it better. Over time, our lips, especially if you're fair skin, they get smaller and like purpley because they're transparent. There's no pores, you don't have any hair on your lips. It's just, so get that done, to add that youthful.
So how does it age, I guess? Because in my head, when I picture a tattoo, I don't have any, but I've seen people get wrinkly, obviously, and it does not look the same. And obviously, your
Right.
face is going to lose its collagen and you're going to start showing some signs of aging. How does that
Yeah.
age? Do you just update what you did before or?
Yeah. Yeah. So I tattoo and I train to tattoo anybody with the mindset of being 100+ year old, lazy, saggy, wrinkly human being. So you got to imagine that person. So if you see someone that's got big, huge brows tattooed on, first of all, pray for them, because over time stuff goes down.
Yeah.
The ink, the way it oxidizes and it heals and all that other crap, it's going to shift in color. Every time you come back, you're going to have a little bit of that color shifting that you want to, edit just a little bit. I don't tattoo and pack in a bunch of ink. Imagine, the ink, it's going to swell over time. So, or, spread out. So whenever you tattoo, if you pack in those colors, it has nowhere to go but like up, but not up and out. It's just like up. So your skin will kind of look,
there's so much to know about this. Like, this is so intriguing to me. So how
Yeah,
often, if somebody gets, let's say, their brows or their eyeliner done, how
yeah.
often would they need to come back?
Okay, so DNA, lifestyle, totally
Okay.
depends on it.
Yeah.
Oilier skin versus, dry and anywhere in between. Um, and God only knows what your genetic makeup is. So the lifestyle part will go there. If you are out in the sun a lot, if you get a lot of facial treatments, if you tend to use a lot of, just depends on what your face is exposed to, it'll shift, as far as the color goes or push out.
Hmm.
Nothing too crazy if it's tattooed correctly. And honestly, a lot of my clients, they don't even know. And I'm like, it's good because I see in color. That's my job. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to see what's not there.
Good.
And I can see and predict that colors will go to turn and shift in a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. Also, if the artist tells you, put this in a little clip, the artist tells you, well, it didn't work because of your skin and your face and what you did. Now, only thing that is okay to say is if you scratched it off
Mhm.
or if you were dirty and you didn't clean it properly. Other than that, it's the artist. It's the artist who messed up.
I like how hick you got there. That really just brought
Oh
me
yeah, I'm
some
from
joy.
Louisiana. I'm sorry. I get passionate.
That reminds me of my family so much, and I love it.
For real though, like I just want to set some stories straight here
No, I
and let
love
people
that.
know that this is not something you can take a weekend course and just go do it and be good. It's
Now, do
okay.
different skincare products, I know it's ink and it's supposed to be in there. Do different skincare products affect
Yeah.
that? And
Yeah.
okay.
If you have like retinol, we do some sort of like dermatological harsher stuff to your skin.
Mhm.
How about this? Your skin's like your house for your permanent makeup.
Okay.
Okay. So if you build that house on shitty ground, you're gonna have a shitty house or it's gonna fall apart. So if your skin is being treated for something and it's not, its normal self, then it's not going to have a solid foundation to stay
Fair.
and to live in. To just think of it like that. If you're going through treatments, medicine, if you're, taking medicine that might, shift just your health, you
Mhm.
know, tattoos are for anybody who's healthy and can heal. So, you can, and I've done several tattoos on people that have medicine that they're taking that just got out of surgeries not too long ago. As long as they can heal, it's fine. And as long as I put in the proper ink at the proper location and depth and how to tattoo properly, as well as putting in that the space of
Mhm.
how it's tattooed. So if I'm not packing it in too much, then I'll be able to have it grow properly.
Yeah.
So I want you guys to be honest with your artists and let them know what you're doing to your skin. Because
Is
if
there
it
anyone
messes
that
up,
should not get tattooed?
so someone that is a contraindication for getting tattooed is depending on the location. Now you've got your more specialties that I could do someone like they've got like if you got like a little red spot guys that pops up on your face somewhere. It's not normally there, even if you're in your early 30s, or younger, whatever, get that looked at because that could be cancer. But people who've had that and they get their face, scraped out and torn apart, they come to me and I'm like, okay, let's put this back together somehow, make it look good. Sometimes it's putting lipstick on a pig, but that gummit, it's gonna look good. And they should make sure that their moles, if they've got moles in that area, you can't tattoo over a mole. Could be cancerous. It's not going to heal well. I sell healed results. If it's not going to heal well, why the hell would I tattoo it?
Right, right. I
Get some
love that.
makeup.
I love that.
And but yeah, so there's really, if you don't heal well. So what are things that don't heal well? I'm on medications. I bleed a lot. I've got, and autoimmunes, it's on like diabetes is an autoimmune disease. If you've got type 1 where you depend to live off of insulin versus type 2 where, diet or, change stuff like that. As long as it's controlled,
Right,
get it tattooed.
right.
Vitiligo, Hashimoto, just all these lists of stuff. Don't rabbit hole me. I'll go down a rabbit hole shit. But
Well, I
let's
won't
just
rabbit hole you.
we're gonna basic this out. If you are healthy and the foundation is gonna be like that for a while, you know, then get it tattooed. And by golly, go with your gut. If you do not feel that that artist is right for you, not just because their Instagram looks great or you enjoy, you know, photos of their kitten and their
Right.
quote of the day and their model photo, which, you know, is fine, or what reel they decide to post, that's fine. Healed results. They don't have healed results, run away. If you're an artist watching this, better start posting healed results.
I'm gonna just make a note, healed results.
Healed results.
What advice do you have for someone who's like you know, you went from one thing to another, they're knowing that there's more in them or that there's another option, or people are making fun of what they're saying they want to do? What advice do you have for them?
Add that for fuel to your fire. And why are they asking me why? So research, do your own research.
Yep.
There's a lot of, you know, very huge influencers in the industry who give free advice all the time. All the time. Bug them. Bug every one of them. The world's kind of big, y'all.
Yep.
Bug them. Ask them why. Now, example, I did not know you were not supposed to tattoo darker lip tones, like the skin color we have. It's Thomas Fitzpatrick color skin wheel, like the color wheel, and that it fits. It just fits 1, 2 through 6. So fits 1 is very, very fair skin. Fit 6 is extremely, you know, that darker brown, you know, that gorgeous dark chocolate looking skin, and anywhere in between. So that fits 4, 5, 6. The darker lips you're not supposed to tattoo. And I'm like, oh crap, I've been doing that forever because I just wanted the lips changed in color, and that was before numbing. And they looked great. And everyone said not to do it eventually when I got on Facebook and got into these groups, whenever I found out that was a thing. And I was like, oh crap, why? And they're like, well, it heals like crap. Feels like crap because people damage the skin and they didn't know at that time how to do tattooing of that particular skin or how to tattoo in general. And so it would damage it and give them hyperpigmentation, turn their lips purple, or even worse. And then with color theory not being taught like it is today, they jacked it up a lot. So over time, people experimented and they got better. So ask why don't you do it? Why can't I do it? And then add that fuel to the fire, thirsty for knowledge. And by golly, no one's learning cup better be full. Mine's not full. You're full.
Amen.
That's
you
why
guys keep
you do
learning. Never stop learning.
Never. So ask why, fuel for your fire.
I love that. I love that so much. Fuel to fire. I'm actually going to write that down. As far as motivation, you're a mom, you're busy. You're at a soccer game right now.
Yeah, like, football.
Or football. It's football season, duh. How do you keep going? Like when you get, holy crap, how can I do anything else? Like what keeps you going? What do you use to motivate you?
I'm psychotic. So this is fun.
Psychotic.
That's because I literally find this is my drug. This is my happiness. When you make people love themselves and you are literally that ingredient or entire recipe for someone else's happiness, I don't know another drug that is legal or will make you not progress in life in general. I'm a workaholic. So you're asking the wrong person. This is my fun. My family, paying bills, I guess I got to do that, but that happens because I'm just having fun. I don't know. I don't have any advice for what keeps me going. What keeps me out of working, what a first world problem is my family. They tend to take up some time. I have a 12-year-old. Pray for me.
All the prayers.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a phone anymore, so that's fine. None of that TikTok.
So you're showing him like what a hardworking woman looks like, and that it's okay to have a hardworking woman in your life, and what he needs to do.
Yeah, he needs to find someone like me with a lot, like Yeah. Yeah. That's a rabbit hole. We're not going there.
Yeah,
But
let's just wait a few years.
I think balance, honestly, balance in family and work has been the biggest thing that I wish I would have found sooner.
Yeah.
And I had to find that balance in family when I actually got busy and I actually got more, I'm booked out right now about 13 months.
Wow.
That's why I've got, I'm a specialty. I tattoo skin you're not supposed to tattoo. I sell products. I train all over the world via internet, and then I'll get traveling again eventually. But I'm really just shifting the way my my colleagues view tattooing because I'm a traditional tattooer. I know how to put ink into skin, and I teach putting ink into skin. But a lot of people, they learn a skill using this recipe and that's it. But there's so many different ways to skin a cat,
Yeah.
and try not to be ignorant. And there's no such thing as an actual syllabus school. There's one that's being like there's a few that's being created, and they themselves are learning how to do it. So not yet.
Right.
But like there's one in Arkansas that's they've got like this training academy. Like they're really doing accreditations for schools now to learn how to do this. But right now there's not, because it's expensive, and to get the actual training
Right.
to be good right out, it's really challenging unless you're there doing an apprenticeship.
Right.
So you're doing like little colleges, accredited schools that are training as if it's in an apprenticeship, but it's so organized to where it's like you need to be in an unorganized environment to learn how to do this.
Yeah. Well, and
But
I
with the
feel like
right,
that's very important to touch on, because just like when I went to the police academy, I quit college for criminal justice.
well, you're such a badass.
See, guys, we didn't know each other before this call. We literally are
No,
only
I didn't know
Facebook
anything
friends.
about you. Yeah.
So yeah, I quit college to go to the police academy because I don't learn well in that traditional, here's how shit should work. I had to be on the street. I had to know how to
Yeah,
stay alive.
literally on the streets,
Like on the streets. So
wrestling crackheads and robbers.
yes, all of that. But that's so important, because I feel like when you're in school, you're just taught, society says this is next step, this is next step, this is how you do it. And I'm 36 now, and I've learned over the past 18, 19, whatever years I've been out of school, no, there are so many other options. For God's sakes, you watched YouTube to get started. Like YouTube, Google, free training. The business I'm in now, like they do business training for us. You can learn anything you need without that. Pay millions of dollars to go to school and then pay it back the rest of your life. Like,
Right.
you can
Yeah.
do it. And we just don't share that enough. And I think it really just, the younger generation
Yeah.
needs to know there's options.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I love mentoring. That's something that is exciting to me. When I mentor the folks that come into my life, I start by watch and learn if they're in person for what I do. And that's how I do my apprenticeship. And then they learn things that are the toughest things to learn, because the skill is actually not that hard if you're practicing the same thing over and over again, that muscle memory.
Yeah.
But they do breakdowns and setups, and they learn how to file their paperwork. They literally are doing this, and it becomes just that memory, that consistency. So consistency in the hard stuff, and focusing on that, because really just the art of tattooing, it clicks one day.
Right.
It clicks. I promise.
I love that. Well, to wrap this up, where can people find you? I know you told them spotonbeautykc.com, but where in person, or where else can they find you?
All right. So if you go to Instagram, it's Kara Spot On Beauty, Kara Spot On Beauty. If anyone's interested in the areola tattooing that I give for free, and then some, it's an Instagram. I promise I couldn't make it any longer, guys, but spell this one: hyper realistic _ areola tattooing. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
They'll find you. I'll type it all
Yeah,
out.
and the reason why I made that is because a lot of the people that just want the areola tattoos are not interested in body art or permanent cosmetics and tattoo removal. They just want to see breast pictures of what they're gonna get. That's why I made it. So
Gotcha.
they could just see nothing but areola tattoos of what to get from me.
Gotcha.
And also I teach, I trade.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And just because someone says that they train, look at their work, look at them, references. And it is very expensive to train. So don't go off of the money, because some people will charge almost as much as I do to train. And
Yeah,
I get calls all the time from people that are very upset about it because they didn't get taught. So fact check, backup check, sell hill result.
love that. Well, guys, this was amazing talking to Kara from her car. I absolutely love that, showing real life right here, building businesses. So we are going to tell you bye, and then I'm going to chat with her for a second, and I hope you guys have the best day. Bye, and thank you so much for joining us.
Bye, guys.